I mean, there a lot of deals are getting done. I think I don't know how much uncertainty is there. I think it's just been like if you look at all the money that Berkshire is sitting on, I think they just can't find a place to spend it. Like they could buy Goldman Sachs, but I also think that there's a lot of confidence that the markets are going to go down. And if I look around all the people that I feel like we know in multiple industries, that uncertainty is scaring the actual business owners. And so I think that there are people waiting for opportunities, but there's still a lot of M&A activity going on. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Business Lunch with your hosts, myself, Roland Frasier, and the inimitable Ryan Dice. Ryan, how you doing today?
Well, I'm certainly not being imitated, if that's what you're suggesting.
You know what? I've seen so many people trying to imitate you, but they haven't done it effectively. There's so many Ryan Dices. You have tried to sell me Bitcoin more times than I can count on Instagram.
That is my absolute favorite. That's when you know you've made it. You know you've made it when your profile gets knocked off on social media so that Bitcoin scammers can try to sell all your friends and family. I guess fake Bitcoin hack type stuff. It's the best. It's the best. It's my favorite.
It's the best.
Yeah. So you're about to come down to Austin. I'm really excited about this. I feel like you haven't been down to my neck of the woods in a really long time.
I haven't. I think it's been November of last year was the last time I was down there. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we're going to trek it over to Country Music Central in Nashville, Tennessee, and do our Founders Board event. So that should be fun too.
Yeah. It's going to be great. I'm excited. Because you're going down. It's like a private equity conference thing.
Yeah, it's capital markets. JP Morgan's got this capital markets event in Austin for a day. So I'm gonna come in, see you and Richard for dinner, go to that the next day, and then I don't know if are we getting together on the night that night, or are you spending time with your family or something stupid like that? Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm doing whatever my wife tells me I can do and will do. But definitely, yeah, doing some planning on Friday and things like that. But I'm excited to hear what comes out of that and what the shape is of sort of the private equity world. It seems like money has been locked for a while, but everybody wants to spend. But right now, it seems like there's more uncertainty than ever. So I'm going to be really curious to see what comes out of that.
I mean, there a lot of deals are getting done. I think I don't know how much uncertainty is there. I think it's just been like if you look at all the money that Berkshire is sitting on, I think they just can't find a place to spend it. Like they could buy Goldman Sachs, but I also think that there's a lot of confidence that the markets are going to go down. And if I look around all the people that I feel like we know in multiple industries, that uncertainty is scaring the actual business owners. And so I think that there are people waiting for opportunities, but there's still a lot of M&A activity going on. I mean, there's a lot of deals are being done. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be cool to get other experts' insights.
Yeah. When you come back, we'll have to do an episode with your updates on that. Let everybody know kind of what you learned. Yeah. So what I wanted to chat with you about today, I read this article in Fast Company of all things. I don't remember the last time I read a Fast Company article, and I don't remember where it came across my path, but what caught my eye was the headline. It says how stability is becoming the new luxury.
Okay.
And it caught my eye because the basic premise is that essentially after decades and decades and decades of rapid technological change and disruption, there was this new study that Digitas did. And what they're finding is that consumers are now saying that they actually prefer stability and routine over innovation. And apparently they've been doing this study for a long time. And this is the first time that really a significant majority have said, holy crap, just give us more stability. In fact, 83% expressed a preference for stability. And I thought that was interesting because they're expressing a preference for stability while at the same time we're seeing interest in AI surge. So there's a bit of a contradiction. There's a bit of a paradox, but I don't know about you. I know I'm kind of feeling it. I'm feeling an overwhelm of just all the new stuff. Like, if you've ever been out like in the ocean and it's like you're just getting hammered by wave after wave after wave and you just can't seem to get, come up for air. I feel like as soon as we learn about one thing, there's another thing that we need to learn. And this is nothing new. It just seems like the pace is incredible. And I'm just seeing it's almost like a lot of consumers and a lot of people are just sort of tapping out. And I've been feeling it. I've been hearing it from some of our clients. And so to see this kind of reflected in an actual study, I thought was interesting. So I just want to I guess, first kind of get your take on that. Like, are you feeling this too? Are you seeing this?
I'm gonna talk about a couple of things and then I'll tell you. I am surprised that it's a change, that 83%, I think you said, want stability, because in my experience, most people do not like change. Most people want the comfort of stability, but the truth is that it is never there. It's illusory if you think it's there. So I think that's kind of funny that like that's a change. It seems to me like, at least in my experience, most people want to be like, the least change that they have, the happier they are,
Yeah.
unless they're
Apparently not from
pining.
their product, not from the products and services. So in their day-to-day life, yeah, but they're saying specifically as it relates to the companies, brands, right? What do we love in our brands? In the past, it was we love brands that are always changing and always innovating. Now they're citing a preference for brands that are more stable and more predictable and more routine, right?
which will
People,
put which
it's
will
talking about
put those
people
brands
having
out
a
of business
preference
in a
for
heartbeat.
analog board games and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, yeah, which will put those brands out of business if they follow that tact. But
well,
because some
yeah,
of
and I
those,
want to get into some of the implications of this as well, because I do
yeah,
think that there's some things that we can take from this. But yeah, just but going back to it, like, so keep going with your thoughts on that.
yeah. So that's the first thing, and then the second thing is that it ain't ever going to happen. And I think that people maybe forget when, gosh, was it almost at least like 15 to 17 years ago, when Facebook was really kind of coming out with Instagram and Snap and all of the YouTube, all the social media channels were relatively young back in the early aughts, right? And they were changing all the time. And you were like, I don't need another person. I don't need why do I have to be on Instagram and Snap and LinkedIn and Twitter and 17 other Musically, which was, I think, TikTok before it was TikTok. Like, why do I have to be on all those places in all these different formats? I can't do it. I'm going crazy. I want the stability of one, right? I think people were saying that then too. So I don't think that, I think that what we're experiencing is everyone is participating in the live development and evolution of AI through the major competitors. And I find it confusing, and I'm relatively up on it because, every day I laugh at the YouTube channel headlines. It's every day. It's like insane changes. It's like, okay, I mean, they're not anymore, right? It's like,
Yeah.
come on. It's the same headline that you've used 1,000 times, but it's, hey, Google released, Gemini 2.5 Flash, but Grok did this update, and Midjourney's now got this, and this is a new API from OpenAI. That is confusing, and they kind of all do the same thing, but different ones are a little bit better at the other. And if you lean into any one of them and don't look at the others, you might very well get left behind. And that's terrifying to people. But at the same time, if you did just lean into one and get really good at that, you'd be just fine. So I think that it's probably this panic that everybody's seeing from the AI platforms to not get left behind and to be the leader, because they're fighting for that right now. It's still open for anybody. And if any of them stops innovating and stops catching the attention of the people and gets left behind by the others, they're going to maybe fall out. Like, I doubt we will have all of the ones that we have right now, even though there's only really 4 or 5 that, command attention. And then there's who's the upstart going to be? Who's the meerkat that's then going to be bought by the, existing one? Or who's the Snapchat that's going to come out with stories that the Facebook is going to just flat out clone and and take with and even call it the same thing. That's all happening real time, and I think that people trying to get not left behind by this giant innovation that's, I think, probably as big as the internet was, as big as computers was, is very unnerving. And so that's what all that's coming from. I'm not feeling overwhelmed by it because I just want to basically, like, I subscribe to maybe 100 newsletters that are AI related and things like that, and I don't read most of them unless something has caught my eye, or I'll let 2 or 3 weeks go by before I'll go back and spend 2 or 3 hours catching up on them, because chances are I would have spent time learning something that's completely inapplicable now. And that's the thing, is I think that you probably you certainly don't need to be on the cutting edge of all of these things. You can be back a month and kind of see what's happening and what's not happening. And I think you can see when there's like a major thing that happens. That's, I don't know.
Yeah, because think about what you just said. You said, I subscribe to 100-ish newsletters just on AI.
Yep.
That's nuts.
It is.
Right. Like you threw that out there like that's just kind of nothing. But I do think that is, that kind of speaks to the fact that, yeah, this crap is pretty freaking overwhelming. And so if it's our jobs to be on the leading edge of this stuff, we need to learn it. We need to understand it for our own businesses, but also so we can explain it to our clients. So we're incentivized to do this. It's one of those things where, like, people are always amazed and impressed when these actors are in such great shape. It's like, it's their freaking job.